Good evening, good afternoon, good morning, wherever you are. Welcome to Dumb SEO Questions, episode 184. Each week we meet here to answer the questions asked on the SEO Questions community on Google+. With us tonight, Masataki Wasa. Masataki is webmaster of wasaweb.net and also a Google top contributor on the AdSense community. Micah Fisher-Kirsch and Masataki can be found in the UK at wasaweb.net. Micah Fisher-Kirschner, a regular on the speaking circuit in the US. Micah lives on the east coast of the USA, west coast. And he's also the senior SEO manager for Zendesk.com. Rob Mars is a Dutch Google top contributor on several Google forums, and he's also an AdWords aficionado. He can be found at marketbiz.nl, marketbiz.nl. And Tim Capper is CEO of onlineownership.com. He's also a Google top contributor on the Google My Business community. All right, let me click some buttons here and get started with our first. I don't think we've got an answer to the first one. Marty Eigner asked a question on Magento currency extension. He said, I've just installed an extension on a Magento store which does currency switching by IP address. So if there's a visitor from the US, the currency changes to US dollars. The business is based in Australia, so are there any SEO implications with this? The extension has the ability to be disabled for specific user agents, e.g. Googlebot. Should I implement this?
Personally, I wouldn't use an automatic converter based on an IP address. If somebody's visiting from the US, he could well click a button if he wants to know the dollar price. The problem being that Google will be seen as a... Excuse for that. Google will be seen as a US visitor.
Go ahead, Rob.
As a US visitor, so it will be indexed with dollars. So it won't have that Australian touch to it for Google. That's what I would do.
Yeah. And that was also the suggestion of Siraj Gadagay written in our community during the week. He said also one suggestion, let the user decide the currency without automatic redirection, regardless of their location and browser settings. Marty Eigner, I think that's the best we can do for you tonight. I hope it's enough. Here is our next question. I meant to remove that one. Sorry, guys. Oh, well, Asma R asks, what should I do to increase my blog rank and appear in search engine results? I had a look at Asma's Google Plus profile, and it seems to be doing two blogs, Blogspot blogs, one on alternative medicine, the other one on health and beauty. Look, my advice to Asma is what are you doing that's original? What are you publishing that is unique? If you want to, I mean, when was the last time you saw a blogspot blog #1 on a search? If you want to publish on the internet, do it properly. Get a domain, get a host, get a decent platform, and publish something original. All you're doing now, and I'm sorry to be so cruel, but I think, if we weren't to point this out, it would be unkind to you. If you're just publishing what everybody else is publishing, it's just rubbish. Anyway, that's my 2 cents, guys. What do you have to say?
Well, if you're passionate about something, you could blog about it. If you are blog about something because you want to rank high and sell AdSense, I don't think that's the best idea.
Yeah. Anybody else? All right. Moving on to the next. Valentina Huff said, error in my sitemap.xml. She goes on to say, I'm using the Google XML sitemap plugin for a WordPress website. After activating it and then adding open bracket, open quotation marks /sitemap.xml to the search console, I now see all of these errors. How in the world did these get here, and how do we fix them?
Well, if this is a WordPress, that might be, or a blog, then there might be some auto-generation through a plugin. So that might be one possibility. Now, the reason for the warnings, you might be adding pages that redirect, that are forwarding, that are like not allowed to be crawled or indexed, and so that can be the problem for why you're getting a couple of errors. You essentially have to go through them manually and review each and every one. There are some quick plugins where you can do plugins. There are quick softwares like Xenu, Deep Crawl, where you can check the specific URLs pretty quickly, and that might be able to answer the issues that are coming up for a few of these. That generally should give you an idea of what the problem is.
Yeah. Anybody else? Okay, moving right along. We're ripping through these. We've only got 6 to answer tonight, guys, and we're already up to number 4. Did anyone notice a Google reduction in the number of search results? Ankit Patel has noticed that the Google index is getting shallower and shallower. He said, did anyone notice Google reduced the number of search results? For example, home for sale in Florida's result is showing only up to 6 pages, not more than that. And previously, Google showed up to 11 or 12 pages.
They're testing. I mean, the search I have right now has the 10 results, but they're known to test, try different stuff. I've never seen 11 or 12 results before, but it's definitely, you'll see much more common when it's like a brand result. They'll have a reduced set. Yeah, they're definitely kind of changing things up here, there, and seeing what works best.
Okay, and I see Suraj Gadagay yet again has come forward and left an answer on the SEO Questions community. All right, let's call that an answer. We'll tweet that and move on to the next. Randy Davis Video Production asked a question titled, "How will the new domain name affect our placement?" Randy said, "I have a question. A 9-year-old company is changing names. Our company from Episode 11 Studios to Episode 11 Productions. How will the new domain name affect our placement?"
A brand name change, and even with a domain name as a whole, is always a risky enterprise when it comes to the online space. You have to make sure you're moving everything over, you're letting people know about the new change. It's more complicated than it was in the past. Well, if possible, I mean, the thing that I would suggest is just go with the name change, but not necessarily change the domain. Kind of makes things easy at the start, and you can kind of see if the branding change really makes a difference for what you need. But if you're going to be making a domain name change, you need to make sure that, depending on the size of your site, you could probably just make sure everything 301's over directly. And then you just want to do some general kind of outreach promotion to let people know that, hey, we've changed who we are, here's the new name, and people are familiar with it, so that you can provide some lift upon the starting point of the new domain. And that should help for the most part to mitigate and minimize most potential issues for kind of a starting point.
Yeah. Anybody else?
Oh, and do remember that you have other areas to keep in mind. So both your analytics, your search console, all that is going to need to be updated. So make sure that all your tool sets, and as well as any kind of documents or spreadsheets that you've got going, can be able to switch over, so you don't have any stumbling blocks while you're tracking those changes.
Yeah, and I'd have to ask the question of all of you guys, if this were your domain, would you even contemplate changing it? I mean, all very well to rename the company to Episode 11 Productions, but would you, even though it doesn't exactly match, leave the domain name the same?
I mean, I'm not familiar with the industry enough to say, is there really a large difference between studio and production? That
What is the URL? What is their URL? Is it exactly Episode 11 Studios? Doesn't
right.
say so anywhere, I assume, but...
And that also can make a difference too, for sure. But I'm assuming that it's something along those lines. I probably, personally, I mean, I would be looking at like a much major change for switching it over. If it's something minor, then I might just I would probably leave the domain name as is and change the brand name, but it does depend on kind of how big of a change they think it is. If it's a big brand name change, then yeah, you should probably change your whole domain with it. If you've already got the name studio or production in the URL as a part in the domain name as a part of it already.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a bit of the branding consistency.
Also, point out to Randy Davis Video Productions that Siraj Gadagay, who is well respected on our community, has posted a checklist on the community as one of the answers. I had a look at it. It's quite extensive, and it looks very useful for anybody contemplating a change of domain. All right, let's tweak that and move along. Jeff Berkner said, this is a good question, is it okay to have both HTTP and HTTPS running? He said, my site has an HTTP version and an HTTPS version. 25 or so identical pages that can be accessed through either. What is the right way to approach this from a duplicate content standpoint? Should I 301 the HTTP viewers to HTTPS? Should I canonicalize all to HTTPS? What are your thoughts and why?
If I have the choice, 301 HTTP to HTTPS. Just get it out of the way, consolidate it together. If you need both of them for whatever reason, then put a canonical tag on the HTTP going to the HTTPS. Set that to be basically the HTTPS to be the main one to be using going forward.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't. Well, I understand kind of what Siraj has on option 3 and 4. The problem I have a little bit with that is, in a lot of ways, you kind of, well, 3 in particular, but 4 as well, is kind of, people might mistake and link to those other pages, and so you're just letting it kind of sit on those domains and reduce the value for any of the links that's going over to the HTTPS domain. So I'd rather just consolidate it together versus just leave them separate like that.
Okay. Well, guys, we've done it again. We've answered all of the questions asked on the SEO Questions community on Google+. Now we get to our weekly SEO news roundup. We're not usually this well advanced with you still with us, Micah. Yeah, this was a 1 hour and 4 minute clip from memory.
It's 404s, by the way.
Pardon?
It's 404s. I can't. It's not working for me to go to it. The link is broken. Okay.
Did you watch it, Tim? I noticed you commented on it.
Yeah, I watched it.
Yeah. I'll see if I can find the right URL and repair it. Oh no, you can't anymore. Anyway, in a post anymore, can you? You can't remove a URL and then put it back again once it's posted.
You can just
put
it in
I'll
the
try
comments,
and fix it.
I guess.
Well, I thought it was a good, hour to spend Rand Fishkin and oh, what was his name, Tim? The guy from Google. And Eric Enger was there.
Yeah, I didn't get a chance to listen to it, but got to enjoy kind of the fun with doing a variety of different SEO experiments. So it'll be interesting to see. Yeah, it'll be interesting to see kind of what comes out from any additional experiments upcoming.
Yeah. All right. Well, we're at that time again. It's the thank you for watching time. And we do thank you. Your interest in what we do makes what we do worthwhile. We'll be back at the same time next week to do this all again. But for now, it's good night.